Good afternoon. My name is Holly Johnson. I am a junior at the University of North Georgia's Gainesville campus who is currently pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in, well, you guessed it, communications. I am passionate about all things to do with public speaking, and I'm looking so forward to gaining new skills this semester that will not only benefit me in my professional life, but also in my personal growth as well, as I mature and leave these college days behind. Now today, I would like to introduce myself to you and tell you two very interesting things about myself that you wouldn't otherwise know, in an effort to get to know one another better in this unique cyberspace that we call a semester. I would love to tell you more about my love of music and my love of animals. But before I do those, I would like to back up just a little bit and give you a little bit of a backstory on myself. Now, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, I am currently a junior at the University of North Georgia's Gainesville campus. So I do live in Oakwood now. It's great to be close, but it doesn't give me a lot of leeway to be late to classes. That's the one downfall to that. However, I haven't always lived in Oakwood. I've moved around quite a bit, including spending time in Memphis, Tennessee, and a small resort town in Missouri called Branson. However, that all ties into the first point I'd like to make today, which is my love of music. I love all genres of music, and while some could call it a hobby, for me, it goes a little deeper than that. Before COVID, I had the great honor of being a music therapist. I traveled around the metro Atlanta area on a daily basis, and I worked with those with forms of memory impairment, singing songs from the 1940s, the 1950s, and the 1960s. Now, singing these great songs from those eras, from giants like Patsy Cline, Patti Page, Connie Francis, Brenda Lee, the list goes on, not only brought a smile to the faces of the residents that I was performing for, but also to me. I found that it brought them comfort and joy, but it brought me comfort and joy as well. It's very rewarding. So that is something that I look forward to getting back to, hopefully, once we are out of this pandemic and no longer worried about this horrible virus that seems to plague us right now. However, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, I've moved around quite a bit, and that has to do with my love of music. When I was 13, I was hospitalized for a few months here at Scottish Rite in Atlanta with a gastrointestinal issue that, while I still battle, is much better than it was then. While I was in the hospital, I used music to get me through the struggle. Listening to my favorite artists, listening to my favorite songs, got me through the monotony of day after day in a hospital bed. So once I got out of the hospital, I wanted to do anything and everything that I could to help other children who were going through the same debilitating illnesses that I had experienced, and their parents who might not be able to provide for them financially during those struggles. Therefore, I used music. I found my voice, and I started trying to find places that I could sing to raise money for charitable organizations such as St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and of course that quickly grew into other organizations as well. Not long after that, I had the opportunity to move to Memphis and work at my dream place, which is Elvis Presley's Graceland. As I mentioned, I love all kinds of music. For 2 years, I worked at Elvis Presley's Graceland, singing and raising money for great organizations like St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, homeless shelters in Memphis, and even animal rescues. I did everything that I could to raise money for these great charitable organizations and had a wonderful time meeting amazing people doing it. Not long after that, I had the opportunity to move to this little tiny, quaint resort town in Missouri called Branson. That's full of dinner theaters, featuring music of all genres and all eras. I had the fortune of being honored to do a tribute show to Stevie Nicks, of course popular from Fleetwood Mac, and Karen Carpenter from the 70s. While I didn't have the opportunity to stay in Branson very long because of health issues, of course I'm back in Atlanta, and I look forward to continuing music as much as I can now once this pandemic is over. I'm hard at work even today on working on tributes, working on new songs, and I look forward to seeing what I can do even while we're in the midst of this pandemic. Now, as I mentioned before, I have done a lot of work for great charitable organizations, including for animal rescues. That brings me to my second point. I'm a huge animal lover. I have 2 dogs of my own, 2 standard poodles. If you're not familiar with those are the huge, big, giant poodles. Their names are Dude and Scarlet, and they don't know their dogs, so please don't tell them. Although I love my dogs, as I mentioned, I love animals of all kinds. And my dream is to really have a farm. If I could, I'd have one of every kind, a horse, a goat, a pig. Maybe this will happen someday. My name is Holly Johnson. I'm a communications major at the University of North Georgia. And I thank you so much for listening to these interesting facts about myself today. I look forward to getting to know you more, and I look forward to this semester. Thank you.